Hello everyone, welcome to the 37th session of our course Internet Fundamentals and Web Tools. So far we discussed a few topics about HTML. So, today we are going to discuss few more things. So, today we are going to discuss starting from lists and forms. So, if time permits we will go to the fonts and backgrounds also, but basically we will be starting with lists and see if we can complete that today. Okay. So far we discussed about what is HTML and HTML tags, and what is the document structure of HTML, like it will be there will be a head tag and a body tag, and there is a doc type tag which is for mentioning the HTML type and what kind of markup language that we are using, that is called doc type. And then we are going to we will be having a HTML tag which denotes the start and the end of the HTML web page, and HTML will have two children which is head and body. So, that is the document structure, and we have also seen what is a HTML attribute or how HTML attributes will be written. So, HTML attributes will be written with the start tag of the any start tag of any element. So, inside the start tag we will be having some name value pairs like size equal to 10 is one attribute, or BG color or background color equal to some value. So, either red, blue or green. So, something like this we will specify the attributes. We have also seen about headings and paragraphs. So, there will be 6 headings right from H1 to H6, and paragraphs. So, we have also seen a paragraph, like what a paragraph means. So, if we specify P tag that is for paragraph, it will leave one blank line above and below the one blank line above and one blank line below the element. And if we give more blank lines inside the paragraph or more spaces inside the paragraph, it will not be shown in the web page. So, what will be shown, how many number of tabs or spaces or new line characters we give, it will show only one space. So, to have to show what exactly we need to, what exactly we are showing on the HTML, or what exactly we wrote on the HTML, if we want to show the same thing on web page, then we need to use pre-formatted text, which is the tag name is pre. So, that tag we need to use, and for line break and line break we need to use br, and for horizontal rule or horizontal line we will be using hr tag. So, br and hr are the examples of the null tag or null elements or empty elements. So, not null elements, sorry, empty elements. So, empty elements will not be having any end tag. So, there are few more empty elements are there. So, like image or there are few more things are there which will be covered during the if we go in deep into the HTML thing, we will be covering all those things, but basically this session is only for the basics of HTML. So, we will be covering only the basic few elements, and we have also seen about text formatting. So, how to format text and all. We will be seeing more about text in font and basic font font and base font tags in the next session. So, there are other things like comments we have seen. So, how to write a comment and what is the use of the comment. So, comments are something which will not be shown on the web page, and if we see the source code of the web page, we will be able to see the comments. And colors. So, how to denote the colors we have seen, and tables. So, how to write the tables and what are the different attributes for the tables, and what is a table row, what is a table data, and what is a table header. So, table row denotes table row tag for table row is tr, and tag for table data is td, and tag for table header is th. So, what are all these things we have seen in our previous session. So, in this session we are going to start with lists. So, lists are used all time used all the time on the web. So, articles, website navigation menus and product features on the e-commerce websites all make frequent use of lists. Even when you can't tell that a list is being used just by looking at the web page. So, there are 3 types of lists: unordered list, ordered list and description lists. So, lists are used all the time on the web. So, articles, website navigation and menus and all the product features, whatever we want, a collection of elements if you have to represent in the web page, then we will be using lists. So, whatever the collection it may be, like it may be a list of articles, or it may be list of items that we want to buy, or suppose a Flipkart, in the Flipkart we are adding all the things to a shopping cart, or all the things that we would like to buy to a cart. So, it is a list of things, or we want to see the list of all the TVs, or list of all the refrigerators. So, or we want to list down, or we want to describe about a particular product like a TV or a refrigerator we want to describe. So, what will be the, so this is it will be having a HDMI port, it will be having a composite port, component port, and what are all the I mean what are all the modes that it will support, like 360, right from 480i SD to like 720p, 1080i. So, these are all the list of I mean standard definition and high definition images. So, all these things it will have a list. So, it will be like a list can be anything, any collection of data. So, it can be I mean even if we do not see it as a list. So, even if we do not see the things as a list on the web page, you can't say that there is no list inside behind it, because if there is a collection of items, then it is very likely that we will be using list of items or lists in HTML. So, there are 3 types of lists in HTML, or any we can actually separate them out into 3 types. So, they are order lists, unordered lists and description lists. So, these are the 3 types that are supported by HTML. So, we will see how an ordered list, or what is an unordered list, and what are the description lists. So, now we will start with unordered lists. So, unordered list is a list in which the order of list items does not matter. So, unordered list should be used when rearranging the order of the list items would not create confusion or change the meaning of the information on the list. So, the UL element opens and closes with unordered list. The items on the list are contained between the list items, LI tags. So, here is an example with item A, B and C. So, unordered list is which the order of items does not matter. Suppose there is a collection of items, a set of items, where which comes first and which comes later does not actually matter. So, or maybe if we ask I mean if you ask somebody like what are all the languages that we know, then I will say like Telugu, Hindi, English, Tamil, Kannada, like that. I will say like what are the 4 or 5 languages that I know. But if somebody asks me like what are the languages that you know based on the proficiency of the language, then then the order matters. So, what are the languages that we understand is different, what are the languages with a proficiency is different. So, languages that we understand maybe some 4 or 5 languages, but in which what are all the languages we know based on the order of proficiency, then the order matters. So, that actually, so the unordered list will not I mean unordered list is a collection of items where the order does not, we will put the information about an item. So, any information or any, suppose we can write one big paragraph or one big sentence, anything inside the LI item, it will become only one item in the list. I mean HTML understands it as one item and will show it as a one item in the browser. So, this unordered list we will see it in the we will see it as an example. So, what is the user that we were using? It is Notepad++. So, I will try to open Notepad++. These are all the things that we have already visited. So, a new file I am opening. So, here what do we write first? HTML and close HTML, head. I will give a tab so that it will be perfectly indented. Head start and head close. Inside head I am going to put title. So, what can be the title for this? Unordered list example 1. So, I am starting a body tag and immediately once we start body tag we will end it. Here unordered list we need to, so what do we need to type for unordered list? The UL. So, I am going to end UL. So, what are the things here, like just list we will add few list of items. So, Li and close of Li. So, this information I am going to copy, Control C is for copy 1 2. So, three items I will add, like item 1, item 2, item 3. So, I am going to save this in as a unordered list. So, new folder I will create lists, then ul test I will say dot html, and I will say HTML hypertext markup language, then it automatically selects HTML, then I am going to save this. So, as soon as I save it, it became all the colors have changed by Notepad++, because the keywords will be shown in one color and the normal items will be shown in another color. So, here I am going to put list of items, save it, open the browser and we will see how it is looking like. Control O is the command to open the file, sorry, shortcut. So, UL test I am selecting and open. So, here if you see, so let me increase the font so that everybody can see. So, list of items. So, this is a plain text, then there is no business to do with it. So, the item 1, item 2, item 3. So, if you observe the bullet points here, the bullet points are filled circles, or we will call it a disk. So, this is called an unordered list, and then we will go to the ordered lists. So, here the information is actually there is, see here we mentioned that item 1, item 2, item 3 in the same way, or here it is like it is showing something like the order is important. So, I am going to make it red, black, yellow, save and refresh. So, this is like a unordered list. There is no, see, there is no precedence of red between red, blue, black and yellow here. So, it is like an unordered list. Okay. So, what does ordered list? We will see. So, ordered lists are used for the list items which the order of items does matter. Syntax for an ordered list is exactly same as the unordered list. However, to create an ordered list, that OL tag is used rather than UL tag. By making this one change, we can convert the unordered list into ordered list. So, ordered list, as we discussed, unordered list does not matter even if we shuffle the order of the items, but order of the items are the information basically. So, even if we change the order of the item in order to keep, or in order to denote the order of items, we will be calling we will be showing it in an ordered list. So, ordered lists or something like first I mean it will be like in the list of items where order is important, that means the number 1 item is this one, number 2 item is this one, number 3 item is this one, or if we change the number 3 item to number 1 item, it will become an invalid ordered list. So, it is not an ordered list. So, when we if we as we said, I mean as I said in the previous example, like if somebody asks me what are the languages that you understand based on the proficiency, then we will be giving the answer like Telugu and English, then Hindi, then comes Tamil and Kannada. That means Telugu is the most proficient language, and English is the next proficient language that we know. Hindi is after that. Hindi is most proficient language that we can write and read, and Tamil is like we can actually maybe people can I can speak Tamil, but I may not be able to I will not be able to read or write. So this is the order of proficiency. If I put Tamil in the front, then it will become invalid because I don't know how to write or read Tamil. So if we say here in this kind of list, the order is very important, because if in a person's resume or in a person if a company is taking the data of a person who data with exactly this particular, based on this particular data, if they want to assign one person in a particular place, so based on the data, if we replace Telugu with Tamil, then the person who should be appointed somewhere in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana will be appointed somewhere in Tamil Nadu. So it will be I mean the order of the list here is very important. So that is why, and the syntax here is OL, or the order list. For order list, the tag is OL. So we need to simply replace UL tag with OL tag, so that the order becomes, I mean it will become ordered. So let us see that now. Here the list of items. So here UL tag is there. So I am going to change it to OL tag. OL. I am saving it. Then go to the browser. Here there is no order. It is just only dotted bullet points. I am going to refresh it now and see how it will look like. See, as soon as I refreshed, it became 1, 2, 3 instead of dots or discs. So the order became very important. So suppose where the order of the colors will be important, like somebody might say, okay, where bring me red color cloth. If the red color cloth is not there, not available, then bring black color cloth. If that is also not available, bring yellow color cloth. So the order is red, black and yellow. Even if red and black are available, if the person is bringing yellow, that is like an invalid, or like I mean it is not a good choice. So we need to make the order very important in the I mean in at certain cases. Okay. So this is how an ordered list can be implemented. So we need to just replace UL with OL, and list of items or list item LI tag is same as UL. I mean unordered list and ordered list, LI tag is actually same. And in the ordered list itself, sometimes we may have to count down. So how that we need to do, how can we do that, we will see. So there are times when we want to control the numbering of ordered lists. So for example, the list may be broken by paragraph that appears in the middle, that appears mid list. To expand the certain to expand on a certain concept, we may create a countdown list that begins at high number and counts down. So lastly, maybe we would rather use Roman numbers or numericals. So HTML makes it easy to control the numbering or ordering of lists. So to reverse the number of lists, simply add the reversed attribute to the opening of OL tag. So sometimes we may want to decrease the order of list. That means if there are 10 items, then we will show 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this usually in the programs, in TV programs and all, what are the biggest, I mean what are the movies that collected I mean highest, or what are the trending movies, or who is most popular, then usually they will start from, okay, who from the 5th place to first place, or 10th place to first place they will come, so that the so many people will be interested about first who got the first prize, or which movie took the first place, or which movie is the most popular one, I mean which movie is selected as the most popular one. So, these kind of things people will be more interested about the first place. So, what they will do, they will keep that aside for the last step, so that if everybody knows the first one, then okay, people will not be interested, people will be okay, even in the awards function or any big award if you have to give, they will give at the end, so that they will have the speeches of the big people at the end. So, sometimes we may have to create a countdown list, that means it is like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, right from the higher point to the lower point we may have to count down. So, for example, list may be broken up, or so this countdown list, how can we do it with ordered list. So, for unordered list there is no point in counting down. Unordered list, even if you count down, up, down, I mean count down, or even if we I mean when we read it from the first to first to last, or top to bottom, or bottom to top, there is no confusion, or there is no point, because it is just a collection of list, a collection of items. There is no point in reversing it or moving it here and there, I mean moving the first element to the last, there is no point. So, for ordered list it is important. So, we use one attribute called reversed. So, when we use reversed, then it will show in it will show from the last to first. Let us see this as an example, in an example. So, now we have a list of items here already. So, let us see how it is looking like now. So, it is looking like red, black, yellow, 1, 2, 3. Now, I want to make it reversed, REVERSED. So, if I type reversed and then file, save, or here there is an icon, we can save it. So, and now let us see how is this looking like. So, when I did nothing, I just added this reversed, but now it is showing from 3 to 1. Suppose I added one more thing, li. So, here I am adding white. So, close tag, Control S for save, then I come here and I refresh the page. It is showing right from 4, 3, 2, 1. So, here this is how you can order the lists in a reverse order. But show the list in a reverse order. So, the attribute is reversed, REVERSED. So, if we keep this attribute along with OL, then it will show the order in reverse manner, or it will show whatever the items right from the last. I mean it is not in the reverse order. The count will be decreased, but not the items will be reversed. So, still here red, black, yellow, white, here as we see, and even if you see the web page, it is still red, black, yellow, white, but it is only that the numbering is reversed. It is not the items that we write will be shown in a reverse order, it is not like that. Okay. And starting a list on specific number. The start attribute is used to specify the number on which the order starts. For example, imagine if you have a list of 5 items, and after the second and fourth items you want to add a sentence or 2 with additional details. So, if we want to, so there is an attribute to start the list in a from a specific number. Suppose I mean here we gave an example like we have a list of 5 items, and first item we write, second item we write, and after the second item we would like to display something or describe something, and then we will go we want to go for third, fourth item, and then after fourth item we may want to describe about the fourth item, and then go for fifth item. But if you have to describe something in the list, it is not I mean it will not show it may not show in a proper way. So, what do we need to do is 1, 2 we will write in a list, 3, 4 we will write in a list, and 5 we will write in another list. But if we write like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 lists if we write, and we may not be able to keep track of the numbers or the list item numbers. So, in that case what do we do is we will put the start line of the start of the so where from what I mean from where I need to start the numbering, or from what number I need to start the list items numbering. So, that we will specify using the attribute called start. So, the example here shows like it is an ordered list. So, this is also valid only for the ordered list. So, in the first place step 1 and step 2, the OL started with ordered list, and step 1 and step 2 are list items, and again ordered list, that ordered list is closed, and we wrote some description about step 2, and again another ordered list is started, step 3 and step 4 we wrote, but here step 3 and step 4 are expected to start the numbering from 3, and again we ended that ordered list, and then we wrote some paragraph, and when we started writing the step 5, then again ordered list starting from 5th element we wrote. So, this one let us see how this will show in a browser. Copy. Here I will create another ordered list. Let me take a moment to make it indented properly. So, the indentation is very important to understand what is being written. So, the indentation, why is it important? Because inside order list, to denote list item is there, then we have to give a tab or few spaces. So, these spaces, if they are all in a if all the from right from here to here, I gave a tab, usually people give a tab, or they'll leave three columns or 3 spaces they will provide, and then start writing the next sentence, so that we understand easily that in ordered list and there is list item and ordered list is over. Then again a new line, new tag has started, new tag is started with another one. So, it is at the level of ordered list. So, I created at the level, or I created on par with OL, I wrote on par with OL. So, this is an ordered list, we have already I have explained about this. I am going to save this and then come to the browser and refresh. So, here the ordered list. So, step 1 and step 2 is printed here, and then the description about step 2 we wrote in a paragraph, and then step 3 and step 4, and then there is some description about step 4, and here there is some description about step 4 and step 5 started. What do we need to observe here is, after the second step here we wrote the third step here, but in a different ordered list. So, even if we create a new ordered list, it did not change the number of the, I mean it did not restarted the number, because we specified the start number as 3, the start attribute start from 3. So, this is how we can specify the start of the numbering. Start of the numbering in ordered list, not everywhere. And what are the description lists? So, description lists are created with DL tag. So, used far less frequently than the ordered and unordered pairs. Description lists are used to contain name value groups. So, each name value group consists of one name or term placed between DT tags and followed by one or more values, with each value or description placed between DD tags. So, the another type of lists is description lists. So, the description lists are created with DL tag. So, there is a tag for description list which is DL. I mean DL is description list, acronym or the abbreviation just will be the tag. and it is used less frequently than their ordered and unordered peers. That means, ordered lists, unordered lists we will be using more frequently, but description lists somewhat less frequently we will be using in the development of the web pages. So, description lists are used to contain name value groups. So, description lists, suppose here earlier ordered lists and unordered lists are like the list of items. So, this item 1, item 1, item 2, item 3, but description lists are something like the pair of the name value pairs. That means, item 1 and some description, item 2 some description, item 3 some description, something like that. So, if we have to write those things, then we use description lists. So, each name value group consists of one name term placed between DT tag. So, name value pair what will be having, one is I mean the name will be in the DT tag and followed by more values. Suppose we want to describe something in the description list, the item 1, suppose we are writing some number, some a table of contents which is of hierarchy 2 level, then what do we write, then one name and under that some 4-5 items, one name and then under that 4-5 values, name under that 4-5 values. So, these kind of things how do we write, like with DT tag. So, DT tag is for name and DD tag, so the data description. So, data tag and data description tag. So, I mean data tag will be placed first and then data with that 4-5 or any number of DD tags we will place. So, how do we write these things, we will see now. So, this is how we can write. Here if you see DL tag is for description. So, the start tag of DL and end tag of DL you can see on the first line and the last line. So, which is enclosing or embracing all the HTML elements inside it. So, the DT which is parents here, and parents are we are giving the data as Jamie and Charlie, and another DT who are the children for this, for these two parents, then Landry, Oakley and Skylar. So, these are the children, and pets, there are some pets like cat, dog and gerbil. So, here for each DT tag there are lot of DD tags, that is for each name there are lot of values. Let us see how this will look like in the in our web page. So, what I am going to do is I am going to remove this OL tag and let us have this DL tag copied and I am going to place it in here, and remember the indentation is important to understand if somebody sees the page. So, this is how we write DD and DT tags. Go to the browser, then I am going to refresh it. So, to be clear I will just comment out these things. So, to comment out less than exclamation hyphen hyphen is to comment, and here also at the end also hyphen hyphen greater than is to end the comments. So, I commented these lines so that it will be hidden or not seen, not visible. So, I came here and then refresh, then those things are gone. Now, we are able to see only the list of items or the description list here. So, these are the parents and children and pets. So, this is how we can write the description tag or anything in this DD tag, like we can write something in this DD tag like this. Close this DD tag and I will say living in CA or California, or I will say living in Vijayawada. So, it is very less likely that Jamie and Charlie living in Vijayawada and they have 3 children, we are naming Landry, Oakley and Skylar, but still we say that they are living in Vijayawada, let us for fun. So, just I come here and then I refresh, then it is showing that they are living in Vijayawada. Sorry. Okay, I am going to save it. So, this is how it is being shown. So, this is how the description lists will look like, and this is how the description list will look like. So, the we will see more about the lists like the nested list, and there are other types of lists like in a nested list, one list few lists will be there in another list, like in lists inside the list. So, though that nested list and few more information about lists we will see in the next session, along with the fonts and also the backgrounds. So, fonts, backgrounds and nested lists we will see in the next session. Thank you.